Hey Reddit, what things do you do with your ass so that you had never want another person to witness? Just a few of mine. When my boyfriend and I shower together, we do a ritual butt dance. We rub our butts together in an up and down and then side to side fashion and exclaim we are married. Sometimes when I leave the bedroom after sex, he will steal a pair of my underwear, hide them somewhere, and when accused will say but it is my friend. Whenever he bends over, his butt crack shows a little. I put things in it. My favorite was a drinking straw that I then proceeded to blow into, causing his cheeks to vibrate. We call it the reverse fart. Edit. Wow, thanks for the response, Reddit. I have not laughed so hard in a long time. I cannot say I am surprised that butt dancing is as popular as you have made it out to be. If you have not yet, I urge you to try it with your loved one, dry or soapy. On a more serious note, I do not think the weirdness we share is anything to be ashamed of. And like many of you have mentioned, it is these unique secret codes and languages that bring us together. I sincerely hope that anyone out there who has not found this with a person and who wants to will hold out for someone who can put down the sword and shield and just be a goof. We spend enough time putting on airs for others that it feels nice to just let loose and have a laugh at the silliness of it all. My husband requires injections into his abdomen twice a day. He hates it, for obvious reasons. So to make it slightly more pleasant I decided to give them to him topless. He pretends to be really scared and hold on to my breasts. I am an RN and I would die of embarrassment if any of my colleagues and his physicians knew that was the reason. He always says I give the best injections. You are the breast. My so has me sit on top of him topless and let my breasts dangle over his face. He pulls them over his eyes and says booby goggles. Sometimes I will move one out of the way and it becomes a booby monocle. I do not know how this started. We run around the house naked making animal sounds sometimes. It is not sexual, we just do. Little do you know you have some severely confused neighbors. They have small children. I am sure they have made animal noises of their own. No, they were just wrestling. When I get pretend mad and we are naked, I climb on top of him and swing my boobs back and forth so they hit his face. We call it boobing. I bet he does not complain much. If I am lying in bed with blankets over me, my boyfriend will sometimes jump on top of me, hold the blankets over me except my face, and call me a sausage roll. He would not move for a good 15 minutes. My BF and I regularly roll ourselves up in blankets like a sealed burrito. And when the other sadly comes over hoping to get under the blankets too, we say, if you want to board this vessel, you must remove all articles of clothing and will not unwrap the blanket until the other undresses. That is spectacular. Happening next time. My girlfriend and I will sleep together and she will wake up before me the next morning, take a shower, come back to bed after her shower and wake me up by rubbing her boobs in my face, multiple times a week. No wonder I miss her right now. Sometimes when me and my girlfriend are in the car driving somewhere, we will harmonize and sing songs together. Sounds normal, right? The strange part is we do it all in meows, like a cat, same rhythm and melody, just meows and rears in replace of the lyrics. It's so stupid and embarrassing. But I love every minute of it. She is the only person who allows me to do embarrassing or stupid or immature things with no reserve. Her presence makes the silly things seem right, and that type of enabling is pure love and acceptance to me. I think that's what all of these posts here are about. Couples taking part in mutual absurdity just because you love each other so much. It's not really absurd or restricted anymore. It's just another way of enjoying each other. Edit. Wow. Did not expect this type of feedback. It is great to see my girlfriend and I are not the only ones. When my boyfriend is grumpy I jump on him, hold his legs in the air, and dry hump him with the jackhammer sex move. I like to add gentle weeping during the jackhammering. He cracks up every time. Edit. Laughing. My highest rated honest comment. Thanks guys. Thanks for the Reddit gold, internet friend. And, yes, I am the alpha female. We like to make passerbys incredibly uncomfortable. For instance, last night we pretended to awkwardly make out like 13-year-olds and then kiss each other's tongues romantically. We do lots of weird kissing things. We get super weird when we are just by ourselves. He does this thing where he talks breakfast to me. By that, he seductively whispers our favorite breakfast items in my ear while trying to arouse me at the same time. For instance, oh baby, those biscuits and gravy look so good, soft, fluffy biscuits with a little bit of butter in between. Then those perfect biscuits are smothered in a dreamy, thick gravy with a smoky sausage flavor. This is just a glimpse, but he is pretty good at talking breakfast to me. When she wants my attention, she calls me from another room and then runs out quickly to see if I am paying attention to her. I talk to her in a high-pitched tone and ask her questions like, "Do you love me?" until she responds. Sometimes I make up songs about her and sing them to her when no one else is around. Sometimes I wake up to her licking lotion off my face, but I let her do it because I know she enjoys it. My cat and I really love each other. I was born for this thread. My husband and I have the maturity levels of small children. Showers together turn into spitting contests, hiss at each other like cats. If I am washing my hands and my husband starts tickling me, I will splash handfuls of water onto him and it turns into a huge watery mess by the time we declare truce. We yell at each other a lot and make weird inhuman noises and screeches. Think the most annoying sound in the world from Dumb and Dumber. Our neighbors must love us. If he is naked, I like to poke his penis, play with it non-sexually. Sometimes I like to perform CPR on my husband, putting my mouth over his mouth and noise, then blow really hard. Lots of farting on each other, wrestling like we are in the octagon, random dry humping, constant weird voices and faces, the unwelcome finger in the ass when you are least expecting it. Game. My husband likes to pick my nose and try to put his finger in my mouth afterwards. We do a little butt dance in the shower too. That is all I can think of for now. We are totally normal adults in public, but we are a freak show at home. Edit. Thanks for all the replies, everyone. It really is great to hear we are not the only lunatics out there. You guys guessed correctly, my husband and I do have lots of fun together. We are serious when we need to be, but we love to laugh and play. I cannot stress enough how important it is to find someone who makes you feel relaxed and comfortable in your own skin. If they cannot laugh and take a joke, it is a total deal breaker for me. I am not trying to give everyone pipe dreams, but I honestly thought I did never meet someone who made me happy. I just thought I did settle and be content, but dying inside. I really, from the bottom of my heart, believe that there is someone out there for everyone. Someone who will love you for your good, bad, and weird. Do not ever settle for someone who does not appreciate every facet of your bonky personality. My girlfriend very often will bite random parts of me, usually my arms or hands, while going ang in rhythm with the pressure of her teeth. I do the same back. It is a show of affection for us. Whenever we find something good or pleasing in a non-sexual way, we make tapping or slicking motions with appropriate noises. My hands are practically glued to her bottom. It is so firm and smooth. We tickle each other for no reason whatsoever until the battle becomes dangerous due to flailing limbs, blowing raspberries on each other's skin. But instead of constant noise, we fluctuate the airflow. Instead of a pffffffffffffffft, it will go puff. When we shower, we wash each other, but she focuses on my chest hair and how much lather she can create with a fixed D on her face. I pretend to make out with her belly button, complete with fake sexy conversation and her hysterical laughter, make faces at each other for no reason. My boyfriend makes our stuffed animals Mr. Reindeer, Mr. Bear, etc. talk on a regular basis. Each one has a different voice. They generally act stupid and at times say sexually inappropriate things to me. Sometimes it is funny and sometimes it gets annoying, but it is our thing. I cannot imagine any normal person understanding this behavior at all. When my boyfriend and I are anywhere in public and are bantering back and forth, he always makes me be quiet by saying loudly, "Oh, where can we get what you need for your diarrhea?" Or "What's that? You think you have diarrhea, babe?" It's strange and people laugh at us, but it makes me quit taking things so serious, even though it's embarrassing. We have full-out conversations, all in cat meows, as well as generally acting like cats towards each other. When we are in the car, one of us will reach over to hold the other's hand, but instead of it being romantic, we will start to imitate our hands having sex with each other through humping motions, finishing with jerky hand twitches. All our sexual organs have their own personalities, voices. For example, I speak daily to his penis and his little brother testicles, who have MIT degrees by the way, and my boyfriend does their voices when I talk to them. Also, all our body parts are all in a polygamous relationship with each other, that is, his penis and my vagina are married, but his penis always gets it on with my mouth and butt, etc., etc., etc. Edit thought of another. We also attempt to steal each other's sexy parts. When one of us has to go to work, school, we make a huge show of effort to tug away one another's bits, that is, penis for me, boobs, vagina for him. Become upset when they do not come off. Then pat said bit and say one day, in a sad tone, "Too long didn't he read my so and I are obsessed with each other's reproductive parts." Anytime I want to take my bra off, if my boyfriend is with me, he has to be the one to take it off or his day is completely ruined. He likes to use my boobs as pillows and we have since named it booby time. If I do not have a bra on, then it's called organic booby time. I love popping his pimples and getting blackheads and ingrown hairs, but there has been times where I have taken him by surprise and it hurt like hell. So now before I begin grooming I have to announce going in for the kill, and once I pop a pimple or something, I have to call out target eliminated. After sexy time, he likes to squeeze my boobs together and smash his face into them, then talk into them like it's a caveman. Ask if anyone is in there. After a short pause, I casually reply with a yes. While spooning he likes to put his finger in my belly button, which he calls plugging in. I really dislike him doing this to me. And then there is this weird fart thing we do called trading Pokemon, where we press our butts together and then fart into each other's butt cracks. We mostly trade ghastlies. And lastly, there was this one time where we waited a year. Today I learned McDonald's had shamrock shakes back on the menu. Due to a bet or conversation we had, which I cannot really remember, ordered a small shamrock shake. Then when we got home he got naked in the shower and I poured it down his butt crack. He started laughing so hard that he started farting shamrock shake bubbles. I do not care if you do not believe me, it happened, and that probably would have been the most awkward situation for someone to walk in on. I think I have said enough to leave many disturbing images in everyone's head. Sorry about formatting, I am on my phone. And then there is this weird fart thing we do called trading Pokemon, where we press our butts together and then fart into each other's butt cracks. We mostly trade ghastlies. Everything else made me smile. God, I could not stop laughing for a minute. This is gold. My cat is Spade, but every time my so and I start doing the dirty, she will jump in bed with us, sometimes on top of one of us if she can manage, and we just keep on ducking. I have personally looked my cat in the eyes while having an orgasm. She also wants nothing more than to be in the bathroom while I am taking a shit. It used to duck up my concentration, but at this point I consider it payback for the abomination she leaves in her litter box, and just let her in. TLDR, ducking with an animal in the bed and shitting while at the same time petting her. My girlfriend and I will often act out the fight scenes in kung fu movies. This usually entails us jumping on the bed and throwing punches and stuff. This devolves into grappling, which later devolves to making out and lots of sex. The other thing she does is let me have total breakdown different than my usual ones, and she will just watching to make me feel better will get cinnamon rolls from Cinemonster, unroll them and tie them around her tits, and put on a crown and say, "Do you want to help out the cinnamon princess, you brave adventurer?" And you can imagine what happens. Otherwise, we just have our usual relationship of Dami and sub, and she pretends to be my horse, which only gets better now that there is My Little Pony. My BF pretends that he is having an affair with my own butt. If I am laying on my stomach, he will jump on me and hug my butt. He will then proceed to talk to it, like, "Hey butt, yeah, I miss you, too." I do not think she knows I love you, and when I look around at him he gives me a rude look and says, "Excuse me, I am having a conversation here." I get occasional chin hairs and he will bite them off in a really sexy way if he notices. We will just hang around and make funny faces and noises at each other and act like it is completely normal. And this happens frequently throughout the day. When we give each other back rubs, we have to instinctively scratch off the scabs on each other's backs. We will be cuddling in bed having a normal conversation with my hand down his pants, flopping his flaccid penis around. They are so much fun to play with. When he notices what is going on, he is like, "What the heck are we doing?" and laughs his ass off. After sex, cuddling usually ends early so he can play drum beats on my body or inspect random objects around his room. I am pretty sure we do weirder stuff than this, but it is late and I cannot think properly because I am tired. All fairly silly, but not things we are keen on our friends seeing us do. But, after seeing the picture of rarweh, it is dinosaur for I love you, saying rarweh, or acting like a dinosaur has become shorthand for I love you, he will do a naked dance wiggle while naked for me. We also have a ridiculous imaginary herd of tiny piglets invented, as we cannot have real pets at our rented place that live in our bathroom and eat cantaloupe. There are regular discussions over what the pigs did while we were at work. I dry hump my boyfriend to wake him up, making pug snorting noises, and then proceed to lick him. I also credit card his butt. Other times we see how fast we can shake the other's butt with our hands. Then he does the same with my boobs and tries to make them clap together, producing clapping sounds. I had this ex that would randomly stop mid-blowjob, put my penis in her hand and use it like a joystick. She would press my nuts like buttons, meanwhile making pew-pew and whoosh noises. She really got into it as well, would really pretend she was playing a game. After a minute or so, she would finish me off. She also used to draw eyes on my dick and use the little opening as a mouth. We joked around about creating an animated show, but honestly I am too shy for that. My girlfriend and I heard the Tunnel Snakes song recently. Since then, we regularly sing and dance to it with each other. Also, she lets me nibble on her cheeks. She has big, cute cheeks that I just cannot hold myself back from. When my boyfriend is naked, I make him dance with emphasis on the swaying of his balls, or he makes his ass talk to me, Ace Ventura style. Laughs all the time, every time. We talk to each other in broken Spanish, even though our combined knowledge is high school Spanish 3. When we are smoking a bowl together, we constantly get into loud, serious, and curse-filled arguments about subjects that are just thrown out there. Like, we got into an argument about who has better homeless people, me Asian or him white. We came to the conclusion that he wins, because we both have never seen a homeless Asian person. Boyfriend asked to watch me put a tampon in. I agreed if he let me watch him pee. We both show each other our differing sex organs. It is a long list, but here are some highlights. When she is on the phone with her parents, I actively do my best to fondle her naughty bits while she attempts to upkeep some sort of a normal conversation. We work a block from each other, so we send each other love notes with customers who we know are coming to the other's restaurant. Occasionally when I am caressing her face, I sneak my finger into her nose and make her eat her own boogers. Copious spontaneous nudie shower butt dances. 5 to 10 minute conversations spoken entirely in meows. Sometimes I make her breasts talk to each other. The left one sounds sort of like a Black Dynamite Mr. T, and the right one is a very privileged Englishman. They are friends. My wife and I go on dates and pretend like we do not know each other. I will approach her and start talking to her, buy her a drink, but then we eventually notice we both have rings on our fingers, so it gets a little weird. Then I offer to give her a ride home, but I realize that I do not have my car, so she drives me home. I invite her into my house and she then sees that I have a son. More awkwardness, but in the end we go upstairs and duck anyways, and in the morning I kick her out. My hubby is the more normal one, but I am pretty weird. I will randomly walk into the living room holding the hem of my dress, then like a flash will put my arms straight up, completely exposing myself. I will also dry hump him if he bends over. I also will reach up his shirt anytime he kisses me, and I will tweak his nips. He hates that. Oh, and I always lift his shirt then blow raspberries. I am sure there is a lot more, but it is all I can think of right now. We wrestle a lot. Sometimes we get way too into it and actually start hitting each other. It is all in fun and we both know it, but if anyone saw us they did think I was abusive since I am the guy. She starts it most of the time too. She will come up and smack me and try to get me to hit back. My fiancé and I have 6 stuffed toy children. They are the various teddies we have bought each other over the course of our relationship. They all have their own voices, personalities, temperaments and other characteristics. We treat them exactly as though they are kids. We share food, make them tidy up, discipline them, let them pick which movie we are going to watch, make them take it in turns to get daddy cuddles or mummy cuddles. We try to explain life's big questions to them, etc., etc., etc. The list goes on. Suki Bear even has a pet puppy. They are 100% our kids, and anytime one of us has asked the other when we will grow out of it, we get really upset. We have often panicked about what we will do when we have human babies and how we will divide our time between them all. If anyone I know in real life knew this, I think I would die of shame. Sometime I will suddenly start talking like Pepe Le Pew to my wife along with dialogue and the over-the-top kissing and sounds. She normally responds first by being annoyed, followed by attempts to run away while I chase her, skipping after her. It always ends up with her blushing and giggling adorably. I am not exactly the most manliest of men, but thinking of someone seeing me prance around like Pepe Le Pew after my wife is probably something I would not want everyone to see. They did give me shit for years. Laughing my girl and I fitting well here. She will put her mouth over my nose and blow so it comes out of my mouth. It feels cool. When one of you starts shifting and flexing our stomach, the other will realize it's fart time and try to squeeze one out for the other by pressing on the belly. Then we toot at each other until we are out of toots. Yes, she has also named my junk and 4 of my teeth. They all have their own personalities and voices. Josephus the Hammer will change personalities and confidences apps depending on his erectness. Sometimes we will be cuddling and it will turn into either a horrible tickle fight or she'll get on my back and I will transform into a happy horse that wants to take her the world over. Until the random barking cuts in, her retaliation is usually more tickling. We are super playful and I love her. Whenever my GF bends over for whatever reason, tying her shoes or something, I just viciously dry hump her to the point where she starts to fall. We both just collapse from laughter sometimes. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.